So welcome again, everyone. Yes, today we're going to look at physics paper 1 from Edexcel, and it is for the foundation tier students only, and it is taken from the June 2022 paper. It will be a three-part presentation, and the first part is on questions 1 to 3. Please pause the video as we go through again and check that you understand the questions before you move on. So question 1 start by saying you are given a visible spectrum of light on the screen, and you're asked for part 1, which of these pieces of equipment is used to produce the white light? The answers are on screen, and what I've also included is the reasons why B, C, and D is incorrect. The correct answer is the ray box for this question, because obviously that's a piece of equipment to use. For part B, it says which color is seen between the yellow and blue in the spectrum on the screen. Again, the correct answer is green, and if I'm not going to go through the answers because they are on the screen, and the reason why A, B, and D is not acceptable, they are on the screen for your own understanding. Pause the video and read them over so you don't make the same mistake. So part B of the question gives you some simple one markers that you're asked to go through. I'm not going to go through these. The answers are on the screen. There's nothing to pay attention to mainly, but just identify the main bits that you need to understand. What I did, however, put at the bottom of the screen is a diagram to show you the different wavelengths. No, you were not given that in the previous or in the diagram from the question. It is something I give you to use as a guide to answer the questions and not to make errors or make mistakes compared to previous students. So that is very, very clear support I provide for you to use. Pause the video and check that you understand these answers before you move on. So question 2 gives you a diagram of a water wave in a ripple tank. It provides you the direction the water wave moves, and it gives you some identification of what is a crest of the water wave. You give some labels P, Q, and you give a distance between P and Q. The first part of the question says you must state the number of crests between P and Q. So all I need to do as a foundation student really is to count how many crests is found between P and Q and put your answers on the screen as well. Part B says no, you need to calculate the distance between P, you need to calculate the wavelength between the water wave between P and Q. You are already given the distance, so all you need to know what is the equation do I need to use to find out what is the wavelength. And if you would calculate correctly, if you count the number of crests correctly, all you need to do is to divide the number of crests by, divide the distance by the number of crests. And the answer would be 42 divided by 12, and you get an answer of 3.5. Very simple, very basic answer. So part 3 for A, say you must work out the speed. How can you determine the speed of the water wave? It's very simple to work out, because if you look at it, you need time. If you're going to work out speed, you need some time. You have already given a distance, so all you need is time. So how do you determine the time? You have to look at the crisp, or the how many ripple that takes place between P and Q, and then you use the equation. Speed is equal to distance over time. The next part says you need to work out which row of the table is correct for sound waves. And again, you look at it, sound waves are longitudinal or transverse. Can sound waves transfer energy? Yes or no? And you have to choose an option. The correct answer for that part is A, because it is longitudinal, because there's no wavy situation taking place, so you don't see the waves taking place, which is going to be transverse. And yes, it can transfer wave energy. So the answer will be A for that option. And the final part of question 2 is asking you to calculate wave speed. Again, you are given some information. I've already highlighted them or underlined them for your own benefit. You are given frequency, which is 440 hertz, and you were given the wavelength of 0.75 meter. And as you can see here, we need wave speed in meters per second. So therefore, what's the equation that we're going to use? The equation is going to be frequency times wavelength. And when you multiply those two values, you get a value or answer of 330 meters per second. And that is your answer. That is speed. And that is your 2 marks for that question. Question 3 is about reflection and refraction, and for part A, you are asked to complete. It says on figure 4, draw the ray of light after it reflects. So therefore, you should know that the angle of incidence will be equal to the angle of reflection. So therefore, you need a ray. I need to know the direction in which it is going. I've already put the answer on the screen, so please pay attention to that one. For part 2, you're asked to do refraction. So you need to draw the ray of light after it refracts on the surface of the glass plate. And I've put in the answers on the screen, but please note in red, what am I being given marks for? I would recommend you to pause the video and check these. So the last part of the question asks you to continue this ray as it enters the air from the water. And again, it's not refraction here, is more reflection, so you have to pay attention to that. Again, I place the answers where you'll be given the 2 marks, so make sure you understand that. The last bit, part B, suggests you to do some work, do some calculation. What is given to you? You're given centimeter. The first thing to pay attention to, and you notice focal length is in meters, and it is in bold, so you need to pay attention to that. So the first thing is to convert. Convert from centimeter to meter. You divide 40 by 100, I get 0.4. 1 divided by 0.4, I get 2.5, and that's your answer. Practice these calculations, pause and check them. Check that you understand them before you continue with the video. Again, please look forward to part 2 and part 3 for this same exam paper coming up in short order. Thanks for watching.